You watch this show and you're like, I can't believe this is even on television. Well, it's not anymore.
Hillary Clinton's asking us for money. Will her string of mistakes never end?
ABC is having problems with controversy because people are saying it was canceled because of that slant.
Last Man Standing is a beloved American sitcom known for its witty characters and its comedic exploration of family dynamics, generational differences, and conservative viewpoints. Premiering in 2011 on ABC, the show quickly gained a loyal fan base. However, it was unexpectedly canceled in 2017, leaving many fans disappointed. Thankfully, the show was brought back and continued until 2021, with its final episode leaving many viewers saddened by its end. While the on-screen humor captivated audiences, some of the funniest moments never made it into the show. These deleted scenes were likely removed for various reasons, such as not fitting the tone of the show, being considered inappropriate, or not contributing to the main storyline. Would you like to know these scenes? Then join us in this video as we look into the deleted scenes in Last Man Standing no one was to see. Deleted scenes from Last Man Standing you didn't see on TV. Some of the funniest moments from Last Man Standing didn't make it to the final cut. Tim Allen, who played Mike Baxter, and the rest of the cast often derailed serious scenes with their hilarious antics. For example, in one deleted scene, Tim couldn't stop laughing at fart jokes, while Molly Ephraim, who played Mandy Baxter, zoned out during important moments. These bloopers caused some disruption, but they added a fun energy to the set. Mike Baxter, known for his tough, win-at-all-costs attitude, frequently gave life lessons to his kids, teaching them that if you're not upsetting someone, you're losing. But behind the scenes, Tim was just as tough in a funny way. In one deleted scene, he got frustrated with a scene and joked that Nancy Travis, who played his wife, should have her script with his lines highlighted. Another deleted scene showed Mike supporting his daughter Eve, joining a co-ed softball team. While Mike was trying to be the voice of reason, Tim couldn't resist adding his own humorous touches off camera. He suggested a fish-themed uniform for Eve, which caused him to laugh so much that the scene couldn't stay serious for long. These behind-the-scenes moments show how much fun the cast had, and fans got to see just how much humor didn't make it to the final episodes. During one episode of Last Man Standing, Tim Allen had a tough time explaining the rules of dodgeball. But it wasn't because the scene was tricky. It was more because Tim hadn't bothered to read his lines ahead of time. And this is the same Tim Allen who voiced Buzz Lightyear. He had a funny moment on set when he joked about the dodgeball rules, saying, "Honey, it's a transition. They learn how to throw balls. It's seamless. It's something." This moment turned into a funny blooper as Tim tried to wing it, admitting, "Probably should have read it earlier." But despite the slip-up, Tim quickly pulled it together when the scene mattered. He went on to deliver the iconic line where Mike compares playing dodgeball to preparing for a Chinese invasion, saying, "The transition from throwing balls to fragmentation grenades is seamless." Classic Mike Baxter logic. Even off-screen, Tim wasn't quite the tough guy he portrayed on camera. Behind the scenes, he struggled a bit with handling a prop gun, all while showing off his tough guy bravado to his co-star, Christoph Sanders, who played Kyle. When Tim promised not to let his tough guy image get out of hand, Christoph quipped, "I'm not sure I can keep that promise." The blooper made for some awkward but funny moments on set. Interestingly, Christoph wasn't always perfect with his lines either. In another blooper, he struggled to keep up with the older actors, joking, "I can't keep up with those crazy old dudes." But like a true pro, Christoph nailed his performance in the end, showing his talent even when things went off script. In one memorable moment, Nancy Travis, who played Mike's on-screen wife, jokingly called Tim a dumbass after his antics derailed the scene. The cast's laughter only fueled Tim's silliness, and their lighthearted banter continued long after the cameras stopped rolling. Another funny instance involved Tim making a suggestive joke about the word blowing, turning what was supposed to be a serious conversation into a comedic highlight. Nancy didn't miss a beat, joining in on the joke and proving she could match Tim's cheeky sense of humor. Instead of resetting for another take, Tim embraced the chaos by cracking jokes with the audience. At one point, he grabbed a beer, poking fun at how people misinterpreted his comments. "You just took it the wrong way," he teased, showing off his quick wit. Ironically, these bloopers happened during a scene that was meant to touch on a serious topic, showcasing how quickly the cast could switch between heartfelt drama and laugh-out-loud humor. These deleted moments capture the unique chemistry that made Last Man Standing such a joy to watch and for the cast, a joy to film. Watching the deleted scenes from Last Man Standing makes you curious about what the original script for the show looked like. Keep watching to find out. The story behind Last Man Standing and its changes. The show Last Man Standing is about Mike Baxter, a marketing executive at Outdoor Man, a Denver-based sporting goods store chain. At home, Mike lives with his wife, 3 daughters, and eventually, his grandson. The story later includes the men who marry or date his daughters, giving Mike new relationships to navigate. The show was first proposed to ABC in 2010, originally called Man Up. By January 2011, the pilot was approved under the name Last Days of Man. Tim Allen, involved from the start, officially joined as the lead in February. By May 2011, ABC renamed it Last Man Standing and scheduled it for Tuesday nights. The first 2 episodes aired in October 2011 as a 1-hour premiere. ABC had big plans for Last Man Standing. They wanted it to feel like a modern version of All in the Family, with a conservative lead character whose views would spark debates with his family. The show aired on Friday nights, a tough time slot, but ABC hoped Tim Allen's popularity would bring in viewers. The plan worked. When the show premiered in October 2011, 13.2 million people watched, making it ABC's most successful comedy debut since 2014. Even during its first season, it dominated its time slot and was especially popular with viewers aged 18 to 49, a big achievement for a Friday night show. Over 6 seasons, the series continued to do well, averaging over 8 million viewers per episode. The series underwent several changes during its run. Early in the second season, Alexandra Krosny, who played Kristen, was replaced by Amanda Fuller. Boyd, Kristen's son, was recast and aged up from a toddler to 5 years old, with Flynn Morrison taking over the role. Additionally, the role of Ryan, Boyd's father, was reimagined, with Jordan Masterson replacing Nick Jonas, who had appeared in a guest role. The production faced changes behind the scenes too. The show had 3 different showrunners in its early years. The third, Tim Doyle, was hired for season 2, replacing Kevin Abbott, who had taken over mid-season 1. Abbott later returned after a brief absence, sharing duties with Nastaran Dibai. Last Man Standing became a solid performer for ABC, leading Friday nights with strong viewership. Even though Last Man Standing received great ratings and positive reviews, it was still canceled in 2017. What could be the reason, and will there be a saving? Stay tuned to find out. Fans unite to save Last Man Standing after unexpected cancellation. In May 2017, fans of Last Man Standing were shocked when ABC announced it was canceling the show. It wasn't just any series, it was one of ABC's biggest hits, with over 8 million viewers and strong ratings. Many expected it to return for another season, especially since it was doing so well on Friday nights. The cancellation came as a complete surprise. The timing raised eyebrows. Just 2 months earlier, Tim Allen, the show's star, made headlines on Jimmy Kimmel Live by joking that being a conservative in Hollywood felt like living in 1930s Germany. Some wondered if this had influenced ABC's decision. However, ABC President Channing Dungey denied any political reasons. She claimed the network wanted to move away from Friday night comedies and focus on fantasy and sci-fi shows instead. For fans and cast members, the cancellation felt like a blow. Tim Allen tweeted that he was stunned and blindsided, while Nancy Travis, who played his wife Vanessa, expressed her sadness and thanked fans. Hector Elizondo, who played Ed, hinted that politics might have played a role, though ABC denied this. Meanwhile, younger cast members like Molly Ephraim and Caitlin Dever started looking for new roles, assuming the show wouldn't return. Fans weren't ready to give up. They launched one of the biggest campaigns to save a TV show. Within a day, a petition to bring it back had over 400,000 signatures. Fans flooded Twitter with millions of posts using the hashtag #SaveLastManStanding. Some sent toy tools to ABC, referencing Tim Allen's character, while others paid for billboards in cities like Los Angeles and New York. Even politicians got involved, with Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker suggesting politics might have influenced ABC's decision. Behind the scenes, the reasons were more complex. ABC had to pay $3 million per episode since the show was produced by 20th Century Fox. Tim Allen's $200,000 per episode salary added to the costs. After the cancellation, Fox executives began shopping the show to other networks, including CMT and NBC. In the end, Fox itself brought the show back a year later. In May 2018, Fox announced it was bringing Last Man Standing back, not just because of fans but also because of the success ABC had with the Roseanne revival. Fox saw an opportunity for success and invested $50 million to make it happen. Just days before the announcement, Tim Allen hinted at it on Twitter, showing fans that the deal was in progress. Getting the show back on air wasn't easy. The timeline was tight, with Fox announcing the revival in May and the premiere set for September. This gave the team just a few months to write scripts, film, and prepare. The writers started in June, and filming began in August. They even had to rebuild the set as the original had been taken apart. The crew filmed 3 episodes per week. The pandemic caused a pause in production, which added even more challenges. The cost of making the show went up. Each episode cost $1.1 million compared to $800,000 before. Tim Allen's pay increased too, reaching $235,000 per episode dollars. To help cover the costs, Fox sold streaming rights to Hulu and CMT for $1.5 million per episode. They also found ways to save money by filming more efficiently and reducing travel costs. All the hard work paid off. The first season on Fox brought in 8 million viewers, with the premiere episode getting strong ratings, proving that fans were still excited to see the Baxter family back on TV. After fans fought hard for the show to come back, Last Man Standing returned. But will it be the same, or will it face new challenges? Stay tuned to find out. The cast, shakeup, how Last Man Standing evolved after its return. When Last Man Standing came back, one of the main challenges was finding new actors. After the show was canceled in 2017, Molly Ephraim, who played Mandy, thought the show was over. She moved on quickly, taking other acting roles. By the time Fox decided to bring the show back a year later, Molly was already busy, so she couldn't return. The producers didn't want a look-alike for her role, so they chose Molly McCook, who looked different but brought a fresh take on Mandy. At first, fans didn't like the change and started the hashtag #NotMyMandy, but McCook made the role her own, focusing on Mandy's love for fashion and her dreams of becoming a designer. As the season went on, viewers warmed up to her, especially after emotional scenes with Tim Allen's character Mike. It wasn't just Molly who had moved on. Caitlin Dever, who played Eve Baxter, also made career changes. She took on new roles, including in Detroit, which led to even bigger projects like Booksmart and Unbelievable. Her success in film meant she couldn't return full-time to Last Man Standing when the show came back. She appeared in fewer episodes, and by the final season, she was in just 3 episodes. The writers explained Eve's absence by sending her to the Air Force Academy, which allowed her to appear in some episodes via video calls. Despite her limited role, Dever's character still had important moments with the Baxter family, especially in a special episode focused on Eve's relationship with her nieces. Dever's busy schedule included roles in Dopesick, Dear Evan Hansen, and the Last of Us series, which meant she couldn't always make it back for filming. Her availability issues led to changes in the show's plot, but the writers worked around it creatively to keep her character's arc meaningful. Dever stayed loyal to the show that helped her start her career. Even with all the positive feedback and good ratings, the show came to an end. Will the ending be happy or sad? Keep watching to find out. Last Man Standing's big finale and saying goodbye. In May 2020, Fox announced that Last Man Standing would end after its 9th season, despite the show still being popular, with 8.3 million viewers per episode. Fans were shocked since it had strong ratings and a loyal audience. Producer Kevin Abbott shared that they had been planning for a 10th season, including an idea for Amanda Fuller's character, Kristen, to take over the family business and rename it Outdoor Woman, focusing on generational changes. The writers also wanted to bring back guest stars like Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Richard Karn. As the show neared its end, Abbott revealed that Fox wanted a big event for the final season. Initially, Abbott wasn't keen on the idea, but became excited when writer John Hauer suggested bringing back Tim "the Toolman" Taylor from Home Improvement. While there were earlier plans for crossovers and a shared universe between the two shows, these were complicated by legal and scheduling issues. Finally, after much negotiation, the Home Improvement crossover was approved just one day before the script reading. Tim Allen, who played both Mike Baxter and Tim Taylor, wanted Tim's character to be treated with respect. The writers rewrote the episode multiple times to get it right, even including nods to Home Improvement, such as references to Wilson and Tool Time. The crossover became one of the most memorable moments of Last Man Standing, exciting fans by linking the two iconic shows. Although the show ended, there were hidden messages in the finale. Will fans be able to find them? Keep watching to find out. Hidden messages and heartfelt goodbyes in the Last Man Standing finale. Tim Allen included a hidden mystery in the Last Man Standing finale as a farewell gift for fans. Reflecting on the show, he shared a thoughtful message. "I've been thinking about makers and takers because something very important was taken from me, my truck." The truck, however, wasn't just a vehicle. It carried a deeper meaning, symbolizing the show itself and the dedication Tim and the crew had invested over the past 10 years. Since Tim was part of the writing team, he skillfully wove a farewell message into the final episode. One hidden gem was a line from Vanessa, who said, "The truck isn't on the network anymore." While it seemed like a simple comment, it was actually a clever nod to the show's transition between networks. Another sly joke involved a reference to Neil up the street, whose son was called a bad guy. This was a playful dig at the Nielsen TV rating system. Tim and the writers crafted many such clever lines, but kept only the most fitting for the finale. A particularly notable joke came when Mike said, "I've had that truck for 10 years, longer than I've done Home Improvement on this home." This was a direct reference to Tim's earlier show, Home Improvement, which also had a decade-long run. The writers aimed to prepare fans for the emotional climax, the memorial scene for the truck. Yet the truck wasn't merely a vehicle. As Vanessa explained, it stood for the team's decade-long commitment and journey. "Well said, Vanessa," Mike replied, adding depth to the farewell moment. The finale wasn't done with its hidden messages. In the last scene between Ed and Mike, Ed said, "See you tomorrow," as he exited Mike's office. But just before walking out, something subtle yet significant occurred, leaving fans with one final layer of mystery to ponder. COVID-19 affected the finale in big ways. Fans were saddened that Eve's final appearance happened via Zoom. Caitlin Dever, who played Eve, was busy filming Dear Evan Hansen and couldn't join the cast due to quarantine restrictions. This creative choice added to the bittersweet tone, reflecting Eve's absence from her family during an emotional moment. Season 9, including the finale, was filmed without a live audience because of the pandemic. This felt odd, especially for the final scene featuring Mike's vlog. To create some atmosphere, 45 production members and family were invited to sit safely apart on set, giving Tim an audience for his emotional closing speech. The final day was tough for the cast, who were all emotional despite working on a comedy. Tim Allen and Nancy Travis shared how much they'd missed the show and each other. Their connection, built over years of working together, was filled with humor and warmth. What are your thoughts on the deleted scenes from Last Man Standing? Do you believe that including them in the final episodes would have made the show even funnier? Let us know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.